You've heard the promise, I've heard the promise, we've all heard it. AI is going to make us super efficient, right? But what if the reality playing out in offices everywhere is, well, a lot messier? That's exactly what we're diving into today. So let's just ask the big question right up front. We've all been told that AI is here to help us, but what if it's actually backfiring? Is it possible it's creating a whole new mess for us to clean up?
I mean, you can't escape the hype, right? Every tech company, every CEO, they've all been painting this incredible picture of a future where AI handles all the boring stuff and we humans are freed up for pure, brilliant, creative work. That revolution was supposed to be happening right now.
And to be fair, people are definitely using it. A recent Gallup survey shows that the number of employees using AI at work has literally doubled in just the last year. But, and this is the important part, most of this is happening without any real plan or guidance. It's kind of the Wild West of AI adoption, leaving a lot of us scratching our heads about what the real point is.
Because, once you push past all that hype and actually look at the cold, hard data, that story of a productivity revolution, it starts to completely fall apart. And it reveals a much more complicated and, frankly, kind of disappointing picture. Let's talk money for a second. The financial commitment is absolutely there. An MIT report estimates that companies have sunk somewhere around $40 billion into generative AI just recently. That is a massive bet on the future of work. So what's the payoff on that massive $40 billion bet? Well, take a look at this. It's staggering. Despite all those billions being poured in, a whopping 95% of organizations are reporting nothing. No return on their investment. Let that sink in for a second. 95%. And you can literally hear this disconnect when the big bosses talk. The Financial Times analyzed earnings calls from S&P 500 companies, and they found that while executives just love to talk about integrating AI, they really struggle to point to any actual, tangible benefits. In fact, a lot of the time, they end up talking more about the risks than the rewards. So this just doesn't add up, right? The money is flowing in, but the results aren't flowing out. What is this invisible anchor that's dragging the whole thing down?
Well, it turns out this problem has a name, and it's a name you're probably going to be hearing a lot more. Researchers have started calling it work slop.
This term comes from a study in the Harvard Business Review, and it perfectly describes the junk food of the digital office. You know what I'm talking about. It's that AI-generated report or email or piece of code that looks okay at first glance, but is secretly filled with mistakes and half-baked ideas that a real human has to spend time cleaning up. This quote from the study just nails it, doesn't it? It's not really about the AI you use yourself. It's about the frustrating extra effort of getting a piece of AI-generated work from someone else and realizing, oh great, now I have to be the one to figure this out and fix it. And this kicks off a really vicious cycle. It all starts when someone uses an AI to quickly generate some content, and this is the key, they share it without really reviewing it. The problem then gets passed to the next person, who now has to spend their time untangling it, fact-checking it, and basically fixing the AI's homework. The result? More work for everyone, not less. But here's the thing, this isn't just about wasted time or annoying emails. The rot from WorkStop goes a lot deeper. It's starting to poison how teams work together, and it might even be making us worse at our own jobs. I mean, just look at how we're starting to judge each other. That same study found that about half of us, half, now see our colleagues who rely too much on AI as being less creative, less trustworthy, and even less capable. It's actually damaging reputations and breaking down trust. And this is where it gets a little scary in the long term. Microsoft's own research is warning about something called cognitive atrophy. Think about it. If you stop going to the gym, your muscles get weak, right? Well, what happens to our critical thinking and problem-solving skills if we just outsource all the mental heavy lifting to an AI? We could end up totally unprepared for the really tough problems that still need a human brain. So when you pull the camera back and look at all these pieces, the wasted money, the frustrating work slop, the eroding trust, it all points to this huge growing crack in the foundation of the modern workplace. And that crack is what's being called the Gen AI divide. It's this giant canyon between the promises being shouted from the rooftops by tech companies and the messy, frustrating reality for the people on the ground who are actually trying to get work done.
So, at the end of the day, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's actually pretty simple. AI is absolutely incredible at generating stuff, a mountain of it. But right now, all that stuff is just creating a bigger mountain of work for humans to climb. Which leaves us with one final and kinda unsettling question to think about.
As these AI tools get exponentially faster and more powerful, are we just getting better at making really, really high-quality mistakes? That's the challenge we're facing. Thanks for tuning in.